Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/thenerdcore. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Hello, nerds. You're listening to an episode on the Nerdcore podcast feed. If you're feeling generous, please consider pledging to a tier on our Patreon at patreon.com/thenerdcore. We have tiers as low as $1 per month. Thanks so much, and enjoy the episode.
Hey everyone, before we can get into today's episode, I need to talk to you all about Anchor. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast and is the platform I've been using for over 2 years. Anchor is easy because it's free, includes creation tools on your tablet or phone from the get-go, rewards creators with sponsorships with no minimum listenership, and best of all, they distribute your podcast to places like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and many more. So if you want to make a podcast, you should download the Anchor app or visit anchor.fm. Now let's get into today's episode. Welcome back, mi gente. It is time for the Nerd Chicano Show, the only show hosted by two Latin lovers. The Nerd Chicano himself, Raul Alejandro Mendoza, and the Latin lover himself, Luis Gerardo Garcia. Say hello, Luis.
Hey guys, how's it going?
I'm sorry. Yeah, no, Luis, we're here. This is not the last one that we're doing in person, but the last one in person in this house for now.
For a while.
Bro, yeah, because
yeah, dude, cause you're gonna move over there.
Yeah.
And then who knows if you'll move back? Cause you gotta do great things out in Hollywood, man. You gotta change the world.
Remember,
so it's probably the last podcast done in this house, unless you come back for Christmas or something.
Yeah, or unless the Nerd Studio happens.
Yeah.
Fucking Luis quits his job the minute that studio opens.
I will,
and he's
man.
like,
I'll give up on everything just to do this.
Yeah, fuck if I gotta put an air mattress in the studio and sleep in there.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fuck it, man. Yeah. So the show, we're gonna be reviewing BlacKkKlansman today because we watched it yesterday.
Yep. Spike Lee. What's his name? Spike Lee Jones.
Just Spike Lee. Just Spike Lee.
Where did I get Jones from?
Tommy Lee Jones.
There we go. Okay.
They're two very different people, but it's Spike Lee, directed by Spike Lee, produced by Jordan Peele as well. And then we're also gonna have.
Is that why you said Jordan Peele yesterday?
Yeah, because he was producing it. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get it because I was like, I'm pretty sure this is a Spike Lee movie. I don't know.
No, Jordan Peele. Yeah, Jordan Peele is producing it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he helped write it too, if I'm sure. Yeah, no, we watched that. We're gonna be talking about a lot of stuff, because talking about YouTube and podcasting as well. We have a nice conversation today, but also we have to remind you guys, if you do want to get this episode early, you got to go to www.patreon.com/nerdcorp, sign up for the $1 tier a month, and basically you get shows like this one and the Gamer Core a day early. So hopefully you guys been enjoying the content. We're always closing out the week with the Nerd Chicano Show is the only way to do it. Two land lovers satisfying your ears and making sure that you get the best content possible to finish your week, man. A lot of sexual innuendos there. Satisfying finish. But we're very, very excited to be doing all this content this week. We reviewed Her. We reviewed Beautiful this week. Did a discussion on whether Sony's Venom universe, what the fuck is going on there? Because they seem to be jumping the gun. We also did an episode of the Gamer Core, talked news, and talked about the cinematic style of video games that I'm attracted to a lot. But yeah, no, we're here with Nerd Chicano Show. Before we get into the review, I want to talk about because last week you said that you had this you have been watching this YouTube channel that you really like, and you described it and everything. And then you said something that really, really interests me, Luis. You said, I don't watch much YouTube because I'm more into podcasting now.
Yeah.
So I want to ask that question, dude, and because I feel I'm in the same place myself. Mm-hmm. I watch 2-3 YouTube channels.
Yeah.
And not even regularly.
I watch literally 2, and then the rest are just podcasts or some sort of audio form of entertainment.
Yeah.
Because I know I'm not gonna say that I don't have time for watching videos or something, but it's just that it just takes up too much time to focus on just the video aspect of it, and then so that's why I just like hearing things, whether the audiobooks
Audiobooks are sick too, dude.
Or podcasts or
yeah.
any of that.
So yeah, and I wanted to ask, what's more attractive of podcasting than YouTube? And then you'll go ahead and get my perspective because I used to do YouTube, and then I switched over to podcasting, and it's something that I like more. But you guys understand that one with me. But I'll go ahead and let Luis take the role right now. Tell me what's more attractive about podcasting, bro.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Let's say like a lot goes through making a video for YouTube. Right, there's lighting, there's good camera work, you got to get the right mics, you always got to make sure you look good. I mean, there goes a lot to making a YouTube video, and I don't know, like, I feel like it's harder. Now, I'm not going to say that podcasting isn't hard, it's just that it's more relaxed, more natural to how people actually are. They're just conversations that regular people have versus, like, a YouTube video where you gotta do so much for like a span of what, like 10-minute video or whatever, and then that happens. And, like, I don't know, like I feel like it's more. I find podcasting more attractive, more. I don't know, like it's cooler. Like I don't know, like I don't know what the word is because I keep saying I don't know, but I don't know if you can help me out. What do you think about that?
I feel like sometimes YouTubers try to fake the enthusiasm.
Okay,
do you get that sometimes? Like, like, hey, what's up, guys?
Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And then they'll just start
it's like, it's kind of, hey, I respect all y'all who are on the YouTube grind. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's just not for me. It's too, like, it's not even the work, man. It's just like, I mean, it's just like I didn't want to fake enthusiasm anymore. And here I can just sit down and it's like I'm having just a normal fucking conversation with you, because this is literally what we talk off.
Yeah, man,
this is what we talk off the mics. Like, we're not recording. When we're not recording, we're talking this shit. So it's like it's just a normal conversation. And I feel like with YouTube, when I was making videos, I was like, oh man, like let me try to fake this enthusiasm and be like this very go lucky happy self that I know that didn't really happen off camera, because off camera I'm just like, chill and laid back. I'm not like, hey, what's up, guys? Today we're gonna be.
We don't have to be screaming 24 hours.
24 hours, I did enjoy the camera work I did with YouTube, because I think that's what kind of helped me with my cinematography nowadays. But and then the color grading, of course, practicing that, I was able to make better coloring with my doc.
Right.
But I don't know, dude, like the YouTubers I just watch Casey. I just watch Collider. Collider has most of their shows on freaking audio format, so I just listen to that. And the only stuff that they don't have in audio format is the news. So like when news breaks, I watch the videos there, and that's not even like regularly. And then like every now and then I watch something from CinemaSins, and that's it.
Well, I just watch for YouTube. I watch Yes Theory. When they post, right? I mean, they don't post every day, so it's like, every other week or every 2 weeks. So I look forward to that. So that doesn't really take up too much of my time. But then also that I watch like something like David Dobrik or Casey. But that's
Casey doesn't even upload daily anymore, does he?
Man, like every 3 days or something.
Yeah, it gives me enough time to catch up too.
Yeah. I can't keep up with the daily stuff. Like I can't. Not with vlogs. I don't know. That's why I don't watch any vloggers anymore.
Yeah.
And plus, like, the vloggers that I used to watch, because back in the day, like, maybe like 10 years ago, vlogging, when it first started off and people were starting to do that.
Was the big thing, like,
like
was like,
the
whoa.
shade-tards and all those.
Well, fuck the shade-tards, though.
That's why. No.
Fuck the shade-tards,
though.
Fuck the
shade-tards now. But back then,
it was, like, huge.
Yeah, they were huge, man. Like, this family and this really cool guy, and then the guy turned out to be a fucking asshole, and he cheated on his wife with a porn star, right? Or was I remember.
I also know that
it was a cam girl.
And then he made that whole vlog documentary, took people's money, and then at the end of the day, he said it was gonna be posted to YouTube regularly, and then he only posted it to YouTube Red.
Yeah,
it's like
vlog something it was called. And
Vlogumentary, the Vlogumentary.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like this crowdfunded project that was gonna get all the YouTubers in, and he said like from the beginning, no, I'm gonna promise that I'm gonna
keep it on
YouTube. I'm not gonna charge everyone for this and for that.
At the end of the fucking day, it was on YouTube Red.
On Red, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, it's really easy, just get a trial on this and that. But that's not the point.
That's the point. You promised to people who fucking crowdfunded you on that thing that this was gonna be available to everybody. You know, this wasn't even during the time when the monetization thing was going on.
Pre that.
It was pre that. Like,
way before that.
You would still be making your money.
Yeah.
But like, then you know that was such an asshole move.
The greed got to him.
Yeah.
Got to him. And
that was so asshole move.
Really, pretty much irrelevant.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I'm not subscribed anymore, so I don't really see his news or anything like that. I don't see it on trending, which is good.
Well, I mean, because the vlogging attention really changed. Casey had it for a long time.
Dude, I watched all his episodes.
It was like I woke up 8 o'clock. Yeah. Watch. Was that? And that was at the time he had him up 8 o'clock. I watched it, and then what's it called? You know, now it's shifting to David Dobrik.
David Dobrik, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't watch him. I'm not a big fan of him, but you know, like I can respect.
Vlogs.
I can respect. Yeah.
Vlogs, which is funny because they'll have like some comedic sketches. They'll have like real conversations and stuff like that sometimes. But like basically, it's just like a fun 4-minute 20-second video of just like guys our age just having a good time in Los Angeles and doing those types of things. That's why I watch them. It's just that I like the
I mean fun. It's fun. Yeah, but I did see that it changed more to Dobrik, and I mean Casey still Casey could put out a video tomorrow and just gets like that views like that. Casey doesn't die off with the relevancy. No, because Casey brought a different style to it. And then, but I feel like, Have
you noticed how... Hold on, I'm sorry.
No.
Have you noticed how personal... so private he is? Even though he has, like, millions of subscribers, he manages really to be private. One of the YouTubers that, like, is kind of, like, really private about. Yeah. He doesn't film in his house. He only films, like, in his studio.
Yeah.
And he doesn't film his daughter.
Yeah.
For her privacy, for her to not...
I mean, when did we found out, like... month later or 2 months later that Candace was pregnant?
Yeah. No, that was... Yeah, I know. And now she's like, what, like 6 months or 7?
That kid's about to pop soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
He kept it so private.
Kept it so private, yeah. I mean, I respect that, dude. I respect that a lot,
That's great. I feel like that's what people should be doing.
When the cameras are rolling, it's hard to have your life private. But when we're doing this thing, we're able to podcast, like I can keep things private to myself, and, yeah. And I want to bring more personal levels to these shows, but I want to keep things about my life private. There's things that it's not that I'm not proud of them. It's just that there's things that I just want to keep to myself. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel like that's harder when you're doing YouTube, and that's why I feel like even though these shows are the farthest thing, I know you're looking down there, bro. No, nothing slipping out of these shorts, okay?
Oh, okay, my bad.
I got the booty shorts on, man.
I wanted to see if his balls were out of his pants or something.
Oh,
He's
man.
wearing really short shorts. I'm just like, what the fuck? Move on.
Right, enough about my anatomy. I'm gonna have to put the explicit content on. I have to put the explicit content on this one. That's weird. That's weird. It's
balls alert. Sorry,
sorry guys.
Sexual.
It's just anatomy. Like it's just what it is. But I mean, I don't want it to talk about my body here. You see, that's one part. I want to keep that part of my life private. Okay, Luis.
Woo. Okay.
You could have.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, but it's much more easier. I like it. I mean, it's not easy because these shows aren't scripted, bro. These shows aren't. We come in here and we're like, I know what we're gonna talk about.
We have the structure. It's like
we're
talking about this, and then right now we're just pretty much off script. We're just talking about
we're still on the topic about like what's better about podcasting. Sometimes we get off.
We're talking about balls right
now.
Yeah,
shut up, dude. I know we get off script. We goof around, but we come back to the topic, and I don't want to have to talk about that anymore. Okay, but I feel like it's not much more easier because there is a lot of work to it. I mean, you guys can tell now when we're pumping out episodes like every single day except for one day you don't get an episode, but it's a constant thing, and it's I think it's more accessible than YouTube because not everybody has editing software. Not everybody has editing software, but everybody has this.
A phone, usually most people.
Yeah, and everybody can get Anchor FM and literally record from this thing and edit in that app and put it up, and you're done. You have a podcast. The thing that's harder is staying consistent with yourself and actually putting up content every day. Which I mean, and I think that's the reason why I like it more. I mean, I know that's probably the reason why you like it more. And also, what's the bigger thing?
What's
the
up?
one thing that I don't think people realize
What?
is the fact that, look, I can do this. Hold up. I'm going to have to show you, man. In fact, I can do this. This is a huge thing. You see? Look, I was listening to the Kind of Funny Games cast.
Uh-huh.
I can do this. Right. Oh, my phone's on 1x. Okay. That's terrible. Okay. Here, look. Can do this. Come on, phone. Let it come out.
Well, you do live in the middle of nowhere, so
Yeah, I know.
what do you expect?
I know. What do I expect?
But that all changes next week.
Yeah, on Friday. I mean, next week. Yeah, is when this changes. Okay, Lise. Whatever. The fact I can do this, can have it turn it on, and I can do this. Still have it listening. You know what you have to do for YouTube to get that?
YouTube Red. No, YouTube Music or YouTube Red.
YouTube Red.
Yeah.
You have to pay $9.90. You have to pay $12 a fucking month, so you can do that.
You know that it used to be able to let you. I remember when I used to have an iPhone 5.
Yeah.
And back when the YouTube app was like, I don't know. I used to just be able to turn off my phone and still just hear the audio.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a bug or not, but that was a good thing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when YouTube Red came out, they started charging for that service.
Yeah. You know how accessible that is? You know how helpful that is? I can just keep playing it. Go into the shower, take a shower. If I'm going to take a shit, I can leave it there and keep listening to it.
Mm-hmm.
But with YouTube, I have to pay $12 a fucking month, so that way I can keep listening to the video with my phone locked. That's what's more attractive about podcasting. 100%. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people are going to podcasting now, is because it's more accessible. It's easier to maintain. And, YouTube is not dying. It's definitely not dying, bro. Like, YouTube is getting big.
Soon, though.
But I think what's it called? Podcasting is a little secret ambush attack that's coming for YouTube, and it's going to be bigger, even better than YouTube. So that's that topic. We're pretty good on time.
Let's talk about the movie now.
Yeah. So, if you guys have not watched BlacKkKlansman, the recent Spike Lee movie, go ahead and click off. I do not want to be the one who spoils this movie for you, even though if you know about this story, you know how it ends. But it's if we're watching a Pablo Escobar movie, and I can tell you guys, spoiler warning, but I think you guys know Pablo's story. So listen at your own risk. There's gonna be spoilers, so just be wary about that. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about the movie now. So BlacKkKlansman came out this year.
To clarify, based on a true story?
Based on Fofo real shit, bro. Fofo real shit. From the
there was a black man who pretended to be white, talking to the Grand Wizard, Grand Duke.
The Grand Wizard, yeah.
Grand
Wizard David Duke. Yeah.
David Duke. Okay. I thought it was Grand Duke or something.
Yeah, this guy was a undercover detective who went undercover to investigate the Ku Klux Klan. A black man investigating the Ku Klux Klan, but he had to use a white cop to do it because obviously, what.
White America.
Yeah, come on, Luis, you go up to a Nazi, a Nazi or a Ku Klux Klan member, you're a dark man. Yeah. Oh, what's the first thing they're gonna do? Probably jump your ass.
Yeah, then I'll kick their ass.
Yeah.
But whatever, that's beside the point.
Beside the point, but yeah, I know.
Don't get me boiled up with the
yeah, I mean the movie got us boiled up, and just the way the movie starts, bro. They were showing Death of a Nation. Parts of Death of a Nation, and then you have this.
Fucked up, man.
Yeah.
What the fuck made that movie, dude?
Where is I? Yeah, no.
America was never fucking great, man.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit what people say. Man.
Look, and then they have the Death of a Nation first, and then you have this chubby white man preaching this what's it called racist rhetoric, and he didn't even know the whole thing to say. It's he was being told what to say.
Who was he? Alec Baldwin's his name, right?
I think that was Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
Who did he play? Did he play former KKK leader? Or who was he? Because I didn't get that part of when he was trying to say all that. I think it was just.
I think it was just showing that even racists don't even get what they're saying, because he was stumbling on his words, couldn't even.
Yeah, the girl was feeding him words to say, and he was just saying those types of things. It's
kind of like, you feed propaganda to the masses, and then
the N-word.
Yeah.
Ooh. A lot of the N-word. So if you're easily offended, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's that time, dude.
Yeah, no, but people still get offended,
Yeah, if, because, it's that time, they were dropping M-bombs like it was 4th of July, bro, like fireworks.
It was the norm, though. It
was the norm
to say that.
Yeah. Black people were called the N-word and various other terms, just like our people back then were called spics. And, now you rarely hear that word.
Spics,
yeah, you rarely hear that word, but still it has that power. So when you're called a spic,
I thought spic was something to do with Asian people. No, spic is Mexican. Is Hispanic people.
Yeah, Spanish person in custody. That's what it means.
Oh,
but
okay.
okay. But it's the N word of Latinos. Yeah, but it's the word that's not used much. But when you're still called it still has that power, and that's why every now and when we heard the N word being dropped, I kind of I kind of cringed a little bit. I was like, yeah, this word still has a lot of power, and it's still very dehumanizing. And I'm gonna look up that Alec Baldwin character, by the way. But but the movie starts out like, at first I thought like, am I watching the right movie, or did we go to watch Death of a Nation, that one Nazi propaganda, that far right propaganda, that far right propaganda Trump loving movie that they released. I was like, wait, are we watching Death of a Nation? And I had to, until like the Black Gay Klansman thing came out, and it was like based on some full real shit. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay, no, I get it. But that part was kind of weird, and it's gonna take some time for me to kind of understand, what it is. But I think I have the idea that like even these races don't even understand what they're saying, because they're fed it. But what's it called? He was stumbling. He didn't even know he had to get his line fed to him and stuff. And then we start off with our main character, Ron Stallworth. He's going into
Ron
Star Wars. Ron Star Wars, the white voice. Just like Sorry to Bother You. God, man, the white. When he kept talking like that, I kept thinking about Sorry to Bother You with the white voice thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Yeah. So he's going into the Colorado Springs police department. He wants to be a cop, and man, he gets like, I like how it was that like kind of dynamic, that very like comparison between the white cop and the black guy.
Yeah.
And he was like, like, are you gonna be like, and then I was like, and then the guy's like, all right.
Yeah, we can't say the words, but yeah.
Yeah, he goes like, are you gonna be mad if
someone calls you a bang?
An N-word.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, am I supposed to punch back or something? Like, it's like, and I was like, damn, like, this movie has a lot of comedic instances, but a lot of what you're laughing at is the people's ignorance.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wow, people actually think this way. It's sad, but it's also very
continue
comedic.
To think this way.
Yeah, continue to think this way.
You would think by now, we'd be in a better position than we were a while back, and we are. We are getting some advancements, and and there's way less discrimination, obviously, but there's still those people. I think like I said yesterday when I was talking to Waterberg, they're just not educated. People aren't educated, and without education, you get ignorance.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happens with a lot of these racist young people.
Yeah.
Because there's young people. Like, remember at the end of the movie when they were showing the it's called the Charlottesville
the Charlottesville the Unite the Right rally.
Yeah. And then like there were just like these college, that's also to say something else, right? Even though you're educated, you can still be a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you can still be a fucking idiot.
Were these young men our age getting these tiki torches from fucking Hawaii, by the way.
Yeah, fucking idiots, like a native island.
A native
literally nothing white about fucking Hawaii.
About tiki torches, bro. And they were marching and saying all lives matter, which I don't want to get involved with this.
They were saying white lives matter. They were saying white lives matter.
No, a lot of the arguments that they use is that people say Black Lives Matter, and so they like to say no, all lives matter. The one that was saying that really gets under my skin. Blood and soil. Blood and soil is a very white nationalist term. It's used it was used in Mein Kampf. It was in Mein Kampf, the Hitler book. Blood and soil is just like it's about preserving the white race and
it's like, this is my land. This is like, this is where I am. It's white land and it's white blood. It's white soil.
Right.
If they are entitled to, the things that they have, blood. So blood and soil, like it's this big, very big white nationalist thing. I mean, what's it called? We don't see the Nazis in this one. We don't see the neo-Nazis because the neo-Nazi movement doesn't come into like the 80s and 90s.
Mm-hmm.
So, but we do see the Ku Klux
I'm
Klan.
getting high blood pressure, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to talk about I'm getting heated just talking about this. But I mean, the thing that was very impactful was that end when they were showing all the stuff from last year, man. Last year, this shit's still happening. Still happening. Last year, a car plowing through people. Killing people, man. It killed a young lady. And I'm always gonna go back and quote one of my favorite movies of all time, American History X. Hate is baggage. It's just not worth it. And I think that's what we learned from this movie. It's just like, hate is very still alive, just as it was back then, but it's not worth it, man. Like when
it takes more energy to just be an asshole. Yeah, like just. I don't know. I feel like people should just mind their own business. Like, let's say you don't like someone. Okay, whatever. It's fine. But don't like them not because of their color, but because they're an asshole. Yeah. Like, don't like them because they're bad people. Don't like. It's pretty simple. Judge them by the character, not by the skin. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's what we learned from great Dr. Martin Luther King, and So this movie does a lot of good things about pointing out those issues. There's also issues inside, the community itself. Like the girl who was like very anti-establishment, but Ron really wanted to change it from the inside of the system. But it's really hard. And then we find out at the end, it's hard for you to change the system when the system wants to turn its back on you, and they make them destroy all evidence of this investigation. So it's like, who's gonna find? You're gonna have to do some hard searching to find out about this.
Right.
Of course, that's not too hard now because we live in the age of the internet. It's like super accessible. Yeah. But it shows that even though you want to make the change inside the system still shuts its back on you and doesn't want these things just so it can preserve an image for the masses.
And I like the way they presented the idea, because they were talking about in the beginning of the movie. They were talking about how it was better to Okay, for example, let's talk about the national director. That's the quote he gave himself.
Yeah, national director. He doesn't call himself Grand Wizard. He calls himself national director.
Yeah, he doesn't wear a robe. He's not seen in public like that. He said that it was weird how he thought that it was impossible. I'm sorry, Ron was saying how it was impossible. He thought it was impossible to get somebody
David Duke
into politics. And change from the inside and get the people to believe in what is the new norm. And it was relating to Donald Trump. And I was like,
that's literally what we're living in right now, homie.
Dude, I was like, that's so true. Like, what's a better way of getting a mass amount of people than to like wear a suit and little by little every day make these different small policies that'll warp the American ideals and go back to like this white America that they America first.
America first.
Yeah, I didn't know that was fucking racist. I thought it just meant like it was some nationalist shit, not like some racist shit. I thought
it is a very old fucking party that was created by this idea of preserving what was American at the time, and that whole very, very pro-white thing. America first, even though you didn't know. Yeah, I know. It's fine.
I have a lot to learn because I just don't associate myself with hate, with people that are hateful. Yeah. So I just like to tune it out, but it's good.
Frank was the one who taught me about that one, though. Yeah, Frank was like, the America First thing comes back from like very racist undertones. And we're like, and I was like,
fucked up.
It's very fucked up. Like
on Trump says it on news, like he says America First, and I'm like, shit, dude, I didn't know that had to do with
like like very racist undertones coming back from
some like nationalist.
I thought it was just like
United States, citizens first or whatever. Which I was just kind of like, okay, I get, but
but like you kind of.
I didn't know it was like this white Aryan shit that people were trying to say.
Yeah. And so going back, I really enjoyed Ron's performance. I mean, I can't remember the guy's name, Let me see if I can pull him up. But I want to. Oh, Adam Driver. Adam Driver's fucking great in this movie, dude. Adam Driver keeps showing us that he's just not a Star Wars pony, man. I think that Aaron Driver is gonna have a really good career. If you haven't watched Logan Lucky, it's on Netflix, by the way.
I saw a little bit. The one where the prison.
He's awesome in that movie. He's so awesome in that movie. Channing Tatum's really good in that movie too.
007 comes out. What's his name?
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah. Daniel Craig was in that movie too. His name, Ron's actor is John David Washington. He did a great job, dude. That afro was awesome. The afro was fucking sweet, man. Yeah,
my dad used to have an afro.
Yeah,
it was really weird. Like
my dad too.
My dad had an afro with like a mustache, but that was like 90s. That was like 90s afro. but when I saw that haircut, I'm like, oh damn! Like
the 60s were a really weird time, Nowadays the afro isn't really loved. No. But my dad had an afro too, and he had the mustache too.
Afro and a mustache.
Yeah, but hey, you know what? It looked pretty cool on John David Washington. But Spike Lee does a wonderful job in this movie, man. It's a movie that I really advise everybody to go watch. It's a lesson. It's a lesson to where we were at, and if we continue what we're doing, it's where we're gonna be again. History has a way of repeating itself if you don't pay attention to it. And this movie really shows that all the performances, I love them. Movie was a little bit too long for me, for my taste. Yeah,
really?
A little bit too long. Sometimes it was doing really good. Like I was that last half of the movie, fucking great, man. Like I'm edge of my seat, especially the whole C4.
The racist got blown up.
Yeah,
dude.
What a bunch of fucking idiots. Like I was like, oh my god. And that scene also shows you, like, they just started beating up on this cop, man, on Ron. Like, they couldn't even believe him that he was a fucking cop.
And he told them, check my pockets.
Yeah.
And they kept fucking beating
the shit out of him, man. Until, like, fucking Flip comes in here and he's like, what the hell are you doing? You're beating up a cop.
He's a cop, you fucking idiot. And he throws the badge at him.
Yeah, he throws the badge at him. And, like, and then he tells him, like, you're late. The funny thing was that Ron was late most of the time, and now when he really needed him, Flip was late. Yeah. And the movie's fucking awesome. It's shot, man. The coloring and stuff really gives you like the 60s vibe, 70s vibe. Thought that was cool. The music, you were telling me that you recognize one from Guardians too.
Yeah. The one where it started off with Eagle the Planet and Star-Lord's mother, and then they were singing that song, like a duet thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of the song is.
Yeah, I know. But he was explaining to him what that song was about and how it related to Peter. Yeah, I remember. Yeah. The movie was really awesome, except for that one scene, the one with the electric guitar one. I kept telling you, dude, like, I felt like this is like in porn or something. Like this is like a really, really sensual song. I don't know why the hell it's being used. Very sensual. It's like very suave.
No, very sexual.
No, but I really liked the movie. Really enjoyed it. I want to say,
we're good on time, bro.
32 minutes. Yeah. I want to say like a 9. It's sitting at a 9 or an 8 right now with me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Compared to Sorry to Bother You.
No, Sorry to Bother You got a 9.5, bro. Sorry to Bother You got a 9.5.
I like this movie a little better.
Really?
More realistic. Well, I mean, it was realistic because it did happen. But.
Yeah, it's just that, like, Sorry to Bother You just stuck with me more. Like, I'm thinking like, wow, I've never seen something like this. Like in that thing, and that's why it really stuck with me. This one,
but it was more weird though. It was more fantasy. But I mean, I get everyone has their opinion.
You get it. You know how much I love the unconventional. Like stuff that's like out of this world, and I like that when it's made differently. Of course, that was gonna be better than this one to me. But what did you think? Number.
Number. Yeah. It was higher than Sorry to Bother You, and I like Sorry to Bother You a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Like I'd say 9.1.
9.1.
9.1.
9.25. Yeah.
9.1. Yeah, and I like that it was realistic, so that definitely like shot it up.
What was something that kind of brings that score down for you from a 10? What was something that really? Or I guess it's just like it's not a movie that really like, wow, like damn, like this isn't
No. It was great. Like I was always.
What kept it from being perfect? Because I know one of your favorite movies of all time is Prometheus.
Yes.
I know when you watch that movie, you told me like, wow, like perfect. Like, everything about the movie
The
really
shots.
is like, wow. Like, what kept you from getting out of having the feeling like you watched Prometheus?
I guess it's the genre of movie.
Yeah.
It was more political, which I don't like getting invested in politics.
Yeah.
Unless, something bad's happened to this country, which
Yeah.
it is. And if you're in Texas and we can vote pretty soon. Don't vote for Ted Cruz. Sorry, I don't want to get political, but still, like, I needed to get that out there.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
vote for Ted Cruz, please.
Yeah.
But no.
This is the only time I'm gonna let the politics slide because it is a movie about politics.
Okay, everybody vote for Beto. Beto. Oh, I don't know.
Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, there we go. That guy.
Yeah. But
just because we want to change. But anyways, let's get back on topic. The reason I didn't like it was just, I guess, based on the genre.
Yeah.
Because I don't like getting too invested in politics, and I don't know, like, I like different genres of movies. My favorite, obviously, being superhero movies, just because I relate to superhero movies the most. Because it makes me. I don't know. Like, I've always related to superhero movies. Like,
yeah.
Did you get a cramp?
Yeah, I got a fucking cramp. All right, yeah. No, just keep talking. Don't look it down below.
Dude? Like,
yeah, no, I'm good. Don't look down below.
Let me see.
Yeah, no, your favorites are superheroes. I know you love
Superhero-
sci-fi.
Yeah,
Sci-fi,
a
yeah.
lot. Specifically, sci-fi,
Yeah.
Superhero movies. So these very woke movies.
Yeah. Period
I do-
pieces.
I do like them,
Period pieces.
but they're
you know?
not something
Yeah.
that I would I would say they're my favorite.
Yeah.
So that's why it's not a perfect 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because of the genre, but it was overall it was a pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I recommend people to watch it if they're not already aware of this movie. But
Definitely not a movie I'd say like take your kids to watch.
No.
Yeah.
Too many,
there is a
too
lot
many
of violence.
N-words, too much violence.
Unless you can have that conversation with your kid before and you tell them like this is the way things were before. Like I don't want you to be repeating these words. But I
how
feel
it
like,
is now, still,
yeah.
it's how it is. Still.
Yeah,
People still
it's like,
struggle with
just please don't repeat these words or like watch this as a history lesson. But
by the way, since we're on the topic of like, what do you call this? Like not racism, but just I guess racism. Yeah. But I wanted to talk to. I know we're running a little bit long on the podcast.
Oh,
but,
I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
Have you ever? Hold on. I'm sorry. Have you ever experienced any racism? Because I know I don't experience any racism.
Yeah.
Well, I do actually. I still experience racism here in the Valley. But have you ever experienced racism? And if so, where specifically? Like if you have like a really big like moment where you're just like, wow, fuck you, like.
Yeah, no, of course. How many times have I been told to speak English? We live in America, or like
back in Texas Tech.
That area, West Texas. Just, and it's not even stuff like that, man. It's like the looks people give you, like as if like when you're speaking Spanish with your buddies, the looks people give you, and it's like like why is that such a problem to you, man? Like. I feel like we should be very expressive about the fact that we're bilingual, Some of us trilingual. No, I feel like that should be a norm for the people that speak different languages.
No,
but
the majority of the world speaks two languages.
Europe, you can't go on to the next level of school until you've learned at least 3 fucking languages.
Most of the world knows at least 2 languages. Why is it that America only needs to speak English?
And it's just not right, It's like, but it's the looks, it's the comments, it's the way people speak down on us, it's just, it does hit hard. I've grown thicker skin now, I don't let that shit, like, if somebody were to come up to me and tell me, like, beaner or spick or something like that, I will retaliate. The one thing that I haven't really gotten used to is, with my disability, but that's a different level of discrimination. Because you were walking way too in front of me for you to notice, but when I came out of a movie like 4 weeks ago, when we went to go watch a movie, somebody was laughing at my cane. I still don't know.
You're fucking kidding me.
Yeah,
dude.
I still don't.
Told me.
I still don't know how to react to that. I still don't know how to react to that. But I do know how to react to if somebody comes up to me, calls me a beaner or a spick. But yeah,
Raul, you should have told me.
I know, bro.
Oh my goodness,
I let broken loose. Yeah, but then again, I don't want you to go to jail. Yeah, so then again, I don't want to watch. I know how those videos will end up, man. The cop comes over, you're a darker man. I don't want to have to put you through that, man.
Sure.
Yeah. I'd rather keep you alive and out of jail. Yeah.
Well, there was this one time. Specifically, this is the first time I've ever experienced racism.
Yeah.
Because, like I told you, I was born in Houston, so I mean, everyone is mixed there. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't really feel it as much,
Yeah.
especially when I moved back to the Valley or whatever. But this one time, I went on vacation I wanted to go to Orlando, Universal
Yeah.
Studios, and I was like, what, like maybe 10 or 9 or something?
Yeah.
And I remember we were driving, because we had to drive there. We, can't afford plane tickets. We had to go driving all through the South.
Yeah,
And,
that's what we did too.
And when we reached Alabama, it was Mobile,
Oh.
Alabama. Mobile?
Mobile.
I don't know if yeah, there we go.
Mobile. Oh no. I know.
When we were paying for gas, dude. It was fucking the people were looking at me, giving me shit. Like they were just like, we were speaking Spanish. Yeah, obviously my parents speak Spanish, my tia speaks Spanish, so we're all speaking Spanish. I'm a kid. I'm fucking 9 years old, trying to go take a piss at the bathroom. And then there are a bunch of fucking guys and looking at me and giving me weird shit, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like why are they looking at me weird? And I never experienced that
Something
before
like
in my
that
life.
before, yeah.
And then after that, I just got it more and more often.
Yeah,
And it
I
was
just
like,
try.
the fuck. And then I became how people say woke
Yeah.
to what people
Well,
actually are, and
yeah.
I didn't know racism existed until that time when everyone was giving me like these fucking weird ass looks, and I was just like why? Like what's wrong with me? Like maybe like what did I do or something? Like, and I felt wrong, and I'm just like, what about me?
Kind of check yourself. Like I don't have toilet paper sticking out of my ass.
Yeah,
or
like I
something,
was thinking like maybe I had something like that.
Yeah.
But no,
it was just
like color, and everyone was just not being like the nicest that they could be.
Yeah.
And I know they were nice, and I know they were nice to other people because they were saying hi to everybody else. They're like, "Hi, good afternoon," stuff like that. But they didn't say hi, good afternoon to us.
Yeah. That's sadly the way things are, and it shows you in this movie for sure. And I'm gonna want to have to end it on that note, man. But something before we go, it's easier for you to be a nice person. Hate is baggage. It's not worth it. It doesn't take money for you to be a good person. It doesn't cost anything for you to be a good person. Treat people the same way you want to be treated. Treat them nicely. It's not that hard. So
It's not, man.
yeah. So highly recommend. Highly
Hate is
recommend.
baggage.
Yeah, it is baggage. And I'm glad these movies exist to keep pushing that idea that it shows you really what it looks like and what it was, and hopefully we keep progressing more. But that was it for our Black K Klansman review. Thank you so much for listening.
And sorry for getting political. But
Yeah.
it's just that these conversations also do have to be.
Yeah, they have to happen. They have to happen.
They have to happen.
Yeah, and that's what this movie is. It's a conversation starter. And you told me it's a conversation starter. And then next week we can go ahead and we're gonna review Ex Machina,
Yeah, dude.
and a little mini topic that we'll finally get on after watching this movie. I think it's time for us to talk about Latino representation in movies.
Yes.
I think it's about damn time we
man.
finally talked this, because it's something I've been saying on the main podcast,
Right.
and we have a beautiful Latino man in this movie, Oscar Isaac.
Dude.
No.
Oh. You good?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay, sorry guys. Roll jump his Yeti cup.
All right, yeah, well.
Okay.
Then again, oh shit, man.
All right, let's just end it here. 'cause
Yeah, let's go
we
ahead and
gotta
end it
clean
here.
that
If you
shit
did
up.
like this episode of the Nerdy Chicano Show, go ahead and go to www.patreon.com/nerdcorpse and go ahead and sign up for the $1 tier a month. You get a lot of cool goodies, and not goodies, I'm sorry. You just get the episodes early, a day early. That's awesome. Can't really give you much more than that, man. Newsletter goes out this month for the $1 tiers as well. Also, go ahead and follow Luis and I on Twitter at Luis_Garcia77.
Yes.
Raul, you can follow me at NerdChicano_. Instagram, also follow the Nerd Corps on Twitter at the Nerd Corps _. That's Twitter. Instagram at the Nerd Corps. Me at the Nerd Chicano on Instagram. Luisito Garcia 7.
There we go.
Yeah. Just keep having a good time, and Viva Mexico. Viva Latinoamérica.
And be happy.
Be happy, guys. We'll see you later.